Hi, welcome to Vic and Vern Sports Show. Welcome to Across the Pond, our new show. I'm Vic, and I hope we can have a lot of fun together. It's all about the North American sports. Look, a new show. We'll see if it works. It works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm hoping for the best here. But look, what are we all going to get into in this show? This show is going to be all about NBA, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, WNBA. We're going to have college sports on here, college football, college basketball. Obviously, we're going to have NASCAR, IndyCar, so everything North American. Listen, here, we could even put in some bowling there, some 10-pin bowling, lacrosse, whatever you guys like, you let me know. Most important thing is you guys run the show, so whatever you guys like, let me know. I saw there. I love the NBA. I hope you guys do live games. I know we are planning on doing live games. Hi, Yanray. Now, Yanray's in the house. Yanray doesn't know a lot about American sports. I know that. But we'll teach Yanray. Don't worry. We will teach Yanray. Listen here. Let's have a look at the votes quickly. What is your favorite North American sports? I couldn't put them all up because I only have 4 options. Baseball, basketball, obviously football. That's NFL or ice hockey. And NFL with 44%, which I thought would be the case. The North American football, the NFL, that is top. That's my favorite. Even though I do come from a basketball background, NFL is my favorite sport there in North America. And ice hockey is kind of my second these days. I've lost a little bit the love for the NBA, but maybe it comes back this season. Yeah? Maybe it comes back this season. So that's the new show where we're going to start. So let's start. Let's have a look at our topics. Talk about the NFL, Week 6 coming up. In Major League Baseball playoffs, WNBA finals, NFC, not the predictions, but it's actually the standings. And NFL opening night was last night. What's coming up there? I guess this show is going to be very much coupled to our daily sports update show that comes out every morning at 7 o'clock Central European time. So that is that. So don't forget to get to that show because that gives you every morning all the results of the last 24 hours. Hi, Ronnie. No, man, Marnus can't do that again, man. All right, so there we go. So let's start. Let's start off with the ladies. That's an important one today. We're going to start off with the ladies because everyone knows Vix loves the ladies. And let's have a look. Look, NBA finals are going on, and there's game 3. That is tomorrow morning. That's why I've got Thursday down there. It's tomorrow morning. It's the Mercury against the Aces. That's the final. Look, Aces won the first 2 games. It was on home court. Let's see if we get to game 5 or game 6 or maybe even game 7. But at the moment, it's 2-0 for the Aces. And the next 2 games will be in Phoenix, where the Mercury have their home games. Game 5 back in Las Vegas, if necessary. Game 6 will be back in Phoenix. Game 7, obviously, in Las Vegas. But WNBA, look, the WNBA has been doing well the last few years. A lot of people talk about, it's the Caitlin Clark effect. Yeah, it has been the Caitlin Clark effect. But you always need 2 to tangle, and the darling needs a villain, and that villain is Angel Reese. So, you need that. But look, let's be very honest. The star of the WNBA, or let's put it this way, the star is Caitlin Clark. The best player is definitely A'ja Wilson, and we'll be getting into her afterwards. Because we're going to talk about some things. We're going to talk about the commissioner. But let's have a look. These are the stats of the regular season, and as you can see, points, A'ja Wilson was on top of points. A'ja Wilson top of blocks. She was number 3 in rebounds. She was number 4 in steals. So A'ja Wilson, definitely the lady. And that's why for me, the only person you love that hair. Geez, wouldn't I look? Maybe I should put a wig like that on for the next show. Wouldn't I like hair like that? Maybe not even the color. There you go. A'ja Wilson, definitely for me, the MVP of the season. 100%, the MVP of the season for me. But let's get into some serious talk. Look, the last 2 weeks, the WNBA, it's not been about the basketball. It's not been about the semifinals or the finals of the W. It's all been about the commissioner. And it all started when this lady, lovely lady there, Nafisa Collier, she came out and she criticized the commissioner big time. And look, got to be careful what I say here. Listen here. WNBA ladies, I think if you're a professional sports league, as they are, I think they should get paid that they don't have to work other jobs. Either you're a professional sports league or you're not. But the WNBA, rather said the NBA have the last 25 years been putting money into the sport. It's been a minus for them all the years. Look, you've got to promote your own league, but I do agree with a lot of what she said. I got to give up, kudos for that. I agree with a lot of things she said. I think the commissioner could do a way better job. I mean, everybody's calling for the commissioner to resign. Who are we talking about here? This lovely lady, Kathy Engelbert. Only Engelbert I like is Engelbert Humperdinck from Man Could Sing. I know. Look, Kathy, look, she's most probably the best paid person in the WNBA, if I recollect. I mean, the commissioners earn phenomenal money there in the North American sports. Look, maybe it is time for her to go. I don't advocate for anybody to lose their job, but yeah, look, sometimes a new broom sweeps better, you know. And maybe it is time for her to go. But look, it's become very complicated because the players are now, there's like a strike in the background maybe. They've got the, how do you say, they have to work on the new CBA that is coming up. It's the collective bargaining agreement. Yeah, I find the words. So that's all coming up. You know, how the wage structure is going to be. All that is, I think, at the end of the season. So they could look. I can see the WNBA having no season next year. I can see it, a lockout. I mean, we've seen it in the NFL. We've seen it in the Major League, in the National Hockey League. I know there was in the Hockey League because all the good stars are playing in Switzerland. I know it's been in the NBA. There's been lockouts. So be careful. Be careful what you wish for, ladies, because if there's a lockout, you don't get paid. Okay, you can come over to Europe, but I don't think the money's the same. And that, you know, so we'll see. So Kathy Engelbert, maybe it is time to go. I'm not that astute on what's going on there, but I do know that now she's pulled in Caitlin Clark as well with this whole thing. You know, it's just a mess in the WNBA at the moment. And it's actually a league that is going forwards. The numbers of spectators are going up. And now, look, we the fans, we don't need this crap. We just want to see good basketball. At the moment, the Aces are giving us good basketball. There you go. 72 votes in the House. I love that. I do love that. Then let's move on to some good news, and it is the NFL. There you go. These are our weekend's games coming up. Week 6 in the NFL. No unbeaten teams anymore. Only one team without any wins, and that is your New York Jets. Anybody surprised? Not me. So those are the games coming up on the weekend. Let's break it all down. I'm going to just do it like that. We're going to break it all down, and let's have a look at the tables and everything like that, because that's what everybody likes to see. I thought I'd just break it down in different segments for you guys. So let's first have a look at this part of the table, and that is your AFC. Let's start in the AFC. The AFC East, look, the Bills on top after, still on top after they lost to my Patriots. The Dolphins 1-4. Look, let's be honest. The Bills are going to make the playoffs. My Super Bowl favorites this year. I think the Patriots could make the playoffs. I don't see the Dolphins and the Jets doing anything. That's just the bottom line. Then in the AFC North, you got the Steelers there at 3-1 because they've had a bye week. If you people don't know what a bye week is, in the NFL, every team gets 1 week off at different phases in the season. It all starts around about week 5. The first teams get off all the way to about the week 12. So all the teams get between week 5 and week 12, you get one break, which is sometimes really needed. I think the Steelers looking good. I don't think the Ravens, I mean, that's the team we worry about. The Ravens are in a little bit of disarray at the moment, you know, not looking good at all for them at the moment. Then, but I think the Ravens still a playoff team. They will come right. Then we move to the AFC South. Colts doing phenomenally well. Jacksonville doing well. Houston, another team struggling. People didn't expect that. Tennessee is there where we expected them to be. The Chargers, the Broncos, the Kansas City Chiefs, another team. What is going on in Chiefs country there at Arrowhead, you know? So, yeah, a lot of teams got to pick up the game. A lot of teams have got to pick up the game. Let me just make sure I get everything right. There you go. Then we move over to the NFC. And we're talking about the Eagles, defending champions, should make the playoffs. Washington, I think, is a playoff contender. I don't see Dallas and New York making the playoffs. Detroit, definitely. And then it's tight there. The Packers are 2-1-1. Minnesota 3-2. I think that's maybe the best division in football. We'll see about that. You know, we'll see about that. Then we move over to the last part of it. And Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yes, I am a Buccaneers supporter. Buccaneers and Patriots, obviously, everybody knows why if you make the connection. Terrific Tom, the GOAT himself. There you go, Vern. Good evening, or good afternoon. I don't see the Falcons, the Panthers, or the New Orleans Saints making the playoffs. I only think that the Buccaneers are making from that division. Then maybe, I just said the best division in football, but maybe the NFC West is the 49ers, the Seahawks, the Rams, and the Cardinals. Very competitive division. Look, I think it's a flip of a coin. Still, for me, the 49ers must be the favorites. When they get their players back, I'd still go the Rams as 2, Seattle as 3, and the Cardinals at 4. So that's the information. Let's have a look at oh wait, I didn't even put it out there for you guys, did I? Yeah, I did. There you go. Then playoff picture. This is the way too early playoff picture. Okay, thanks a lot, Vern. Hi, Isa. Hey, hit the vote button. Let's get to 80 votes on the first show. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be great? This is the way too early playoff standings as it stands now. So in your in the AFC, it would be the Colts. They'd have a bye in week 1, and the Eagles as well. Then the Bills, the Steelers, the Chargers, the Jaguars, the Broncos, and the Patriots. And in the NFC, you would obviously have the 49ers, Buccaneers, Lions, Packers, Seahawks. Now, Vern has a friend that is a massive Seahawk fan. Can't remember his name anymore. He's the head of the Seahawks, I think Switzerland and Europe. Trying to get him on the show here once. Vern's got to hook me up for that. I'll take him out for dinner afterwards. He can come over to my place at 5 o'clock on a Wednesday. I need him to come onto the show. That would be something great. You know, good inside, nice guy. There you go. But that is your way. Dominic, there you go. Dominic, thanks a lot. The guy's name is Dominic. But that's your way to early playoffs. But now, if you look at that standings, who's missing? The team of the last 5 years, the Kansas City Chiefs, at the moment, not in the playoffs. Ravens, not in the playoffs. America's team, Dallas Cowboys, not in the playoffs. So there's a few teams there that are not in the playoffs that we would expect to see in the playoffs. You know, LA Rams, not in the playoffs. So I think a lot still to happen in the NFL. Let's have a look at a few of the stats going on here. I like the stats. Everybody knows call me the stat man. Look, 5 games in the books. Matthew Stafford on top there with the most yards. He's thrown 5 games for 1,500 yards. So he's averaging around about 300 yards a game. So he's number 1. The most touchdowns also by Matthew Stafford with, Jared Goff with 12. And then look, I mean, there's some players there with some horrific turnovers already. Geno Smith has 9 interceptions in 5 games. Geno. Not good, my friend. Not good. Then look at the rushing statistics quickly. Out in front, to be expected. I mean, look, if you think running backs, Jonathan Taylor definitely has to be up there. Saquon Barkley, Travis Etienne, of course, he's up there. But Derrick Henry, way down at the moment. Way down at the moment. Also, Eagles, where's Saquon? Not even on the list, if I can see correctly. So, yeah. Got to get that running game going, otherwise you're not going to win another Super Bowl. Then we'll move over quickly just to the receiving stats from the NFL. And at the moment, it is Puka Nacua from the LA Rams. He had a good game last week. He's at 500 yards already. Look, you're a good receiver if you're averaging 100 yards a game, and he is. He's almost at 600 yards in 5 games. Justin Jefferson, he's in there. Amon-Ra St. Brown. I love Amon-Ra St. Brown. The name does it for me. You know, Amon-Ra. Is there a better name in football? Christian McCaffrey up there as well. Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase could be further up the standings, but I think he's missing his old mate there, Joe Burrows. So that is your NFL stats. Then don't forget, we're going to have 3 games this weekend. We might even have a big zone as well. But let's just plug the games that are coming up. I'll put that over there like that now. There you go. So on Thursday night, it's the Eagles or Giants, 2 o'clock in the morning. Join me for that one. Then on Sunday evening, that's the 10:25 Central European kickoff in the evening. Steelers against 49ers against Buccaneers. That should be a fantastic game, both at 4-1. And then in the early morning, Monday morning, the Lions against the Chiefs. Is this must-win territory already for the Chiefs? If they go to 2-4, what does their playoff look like? So 2-4 because they've got a tough schedule, man. So those are 3 NFL games coming up for this week. Don't forget, hey, we are North American sports. We got to talk Major League Baseball. This is the playoffs at the moment. The results, those are the last games that every team played. Yankees beat the Blue Jays 9-6. The Tigers lost to the Mariners 4-8. The Dodgers beat the Phillies 4-3. And the Cubbies lost 3-7 to the Brewers. Look, the standings. The Yankees are down 1-2 in the series. Tigers are down 1-2. The Dodgers are up 2-0 against the Phillies. And the Cubbies are down 2-0 against the Brewers. The Dodgers and the Brewers series, they'll be played tonight. So join me once again tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock for those results. So have a look at the picture. This is how the Major League Baseball playoffs have played out so far. Look, the top dogs are still in. All the teams that had a bye, the Phillies, the Mariners, the Blue Jays, and the Brewers, they're still all in there. So, look, if you're a baseball purist, wouldn't it be a nice final? Yankees, Dodgers, Yankees, Cubs, Tigers, Cubs, something like that. But hey, what about the Canadians? It is North American sports. Remember, it stands there, your North American sports update. And the Canadians, maybe Canada wins the Major League Baseball this year. A little bit of stats out of the baseball. Look, that's your batting leaders. This is for the regular season. Your batting average, Aaron Judge had the best batting average. The most home runs was scored by Cal Riley from Seattle. He had 60. That's fantastic. Runs batted in, Kyle Schwarber, he had 132 runs batted in. So, yeah, he did well. Then let's have a look a little bit at the pitching. Wins, the most wins was from Max Fried from New York Yankees. He had 19. Earned run average was for Paul Sickens of the Pittsburgh Pirates. And Carlos Estevez had the most saves with 42. Obviously, relief pitcher, very good. Then you look at the most hits was by Bobby Witt Jr. of KC, that's Kansas City Royals. And stolen bases, Jose Caballero. Started with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and has moved to the New York Yankees. He had 49 stolen bases. Sensational. And last but not least, strikeouts. Garrett Crochet, he striked out 255 batters. So, yeah, man's arm must be hurting in this offseason. Huh? Plays for the Boston Red Sox, and their season is over. Then we move to the NHL. It was opening night last night, and the Panthers got us started off, the reigning champions, reigning two-time champions. They're doing the Springboks here. The Blackhawks lost 2-3 to the Panthers, so the Panthers started their quest for a three-peat very well. Avalanche beat the Kings 4-1, and the Penguins beat the Rangers 3-0. Shout out for the goalkeeper there, nice. Tonight we have the Canadians and the Maple Leafs in the Battle of Canada. Bruins and Capitals. Another Battle of Canada. Flames, Calgary Flames against Edmonton Oilers. I mean, when I was a kid, it was the Flames, the Oilers, Canadians. Those are the big teams. I mean, Avalanche wasn't even around when I was growing up. The Kings were not around. The Panthers were not around. The Golden Knights were definitely not around. But I do like the Golden Knights. I really love the Golden Knights. Been there to Las Vegas, seen how crazy it is with the Golden Knights. The question this season is, your back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, the Panthers, 2024, 2025. Can they create a new puck next year that says 2026? I wouldn't put it past the Panthers. Very resilient team. Haven't lost any of their top players. So they're looking very good there. Then in the NBA, it's preseason. I'm not going to rattle through all the preseason results. Check it out. Just thought I'd put it out there. Not all the stars are playing yet, or they play very limited minutes. You can see the Mavericks beat the Thunder 106-89, but you will hardly see any of the top names in there. Cade Cunningham did play for the Pistons, but that were the results on Tuesday. The results last night, the Bulls beat the Cavs, and the Pacers beat the Timberwolves. Obviously, the Pacers still missing Tyrese Haliburton. I hope he comes back during the season, but a lot of people say he's out for the whole season. Don't forget, opening night. That is on the 22nd of October. On that Wednesday, I will be doing opening night, and it's going to be the Rockets against the Thunder that I'm going to do live. You've got to respect the reigning champions. And I thought, the Rockets now with Kevin Durant. Look, the Rockets could be one of the favorites to win it. They had a sensational young team. Got that young Turkish sensation. The name slips me, but Vern will tell me his name straight away. It's not Sedi Osman. What's the other guy's name, Vern? Tell me. So they got a good team there, the Rockets, a fantastic team. There you go. Then some college. This is the rankings at the moment for the college football. If you don't know how this works, in college football, there you have standings. You have the SEC and the Pac-12 and the Big Ten and all those conferences. But in college, it gets ranked. There's a ranking system, and the top 8 make the playoffs in the college. So yeah, you got to have a little bit of luck as well to be ranked. It also depends on strength of opponent and all this stuff. So it's not that easy to rank the college. I think it's always very difficult. But I'm glad they've expanded it to 8 teams. It makes it a little bit fairer. And talking about 8th, my team, Alabama Crimson Tide, on the 8th spot there. Big Crimson Tide fan. Love Nick Saban. But a new era is in the house. Who else is up there? Look, Texas Tech Raiders doing really well at 9th. The Georgia Bulldogs at 10th. LSU Tigers at 11th. Some big names there. Tennessee as well at the bottom there. Notre Dame, Michigan. You need to start upping their game if they want to make the playoffs. Florida State, the Seminoles are in at 25. Look, there's some teams that are not even on here. I think Texas A&M, where are they? Texas A&M, but the Longhorns. Are the Longhorns on the list? No, Longhorns not on the list either. Penn State, not on the list. So there's a few big teams not on the list. So yeah, let's have a look. Hey guys, before I leave, I didn't want to make the show too long. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification button, share. It's going to be fantastic. I hope we have a good show here every week and you guys participate. Please let me know what you're thinking and what sports you would like. And we'll try to accommodate all your wishes. There you go. Don't forget, important, big part of this show is always together with the daily sports update show, Monday to Sunday, 7 days a week, every day, 7 o'clock Central European time in the morning. You get your 24 hours of sports updates, everything that's going on. And this program, Across the Pond, I hope you like the name. Every Wednesday from now on at 5 o'clock, we'll just update you on what's going on in the whole North American sports. I mean, look, we didn't even talk about Lamar Jackson injured. Let's hope he gets back soon for the Ravens. Brock Purdy's out. I mean, Joe Flacco has just moved from the Browns to the Bengals, from one in the same conference, because the Bengals is Joe Burrow is out. I mean, Kittles is out. There's so many injuries, and that's just the NFL. The NFL is, if you can stay healthy, you have a great chance. If you're not that healthy, you're not going to win anything. I don't care if you have the best roster in the NFL. If you lose 2-3 star players, especially if it's a quarterback or a good wide receiver, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. But that was our first Across the Pond show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. And looking forward to seeing you same time, same place next Wednesday. Guys, have a great one. And yeah, enjoy our North American sports. Ciao, ciao.